Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to Clo Podcast. Welcome to Clo Podcast. Welcome to Clo Podcast. It's the podcast. Yeah, we here every week. I love to hear y'all's feedback and hear what you think. I love that you're here. I hope that you'll stay. So enjoy the podcast and have a fantastic day. Welcome back to the podcast. Today we'll be talking about why, as an adult, you cannot be non-confrontational. And I have many people in my life who have said, "I don't like confrontation. I'm non-confrontational. I don't like to confront." So we're going to be breaking that down right now. So the word confront comes from the Latin language, which many English words derive from. So con means with, and then frons or front means face. So we're gonna, all right, now walk with me. So that transitioned, so that word it started as confrontere, which is the medieval Latin, and then it transitioned into confrontar. I'm sorry, it's French, so I'm not really too good at my French. All my French people out there, I'm so sorry, but confrontar, and then it transitioned into the English word confront. So that's just a bit of a walk through the actual etymology of the word. So confrontation is a lot of different things. If you look at the actual definition, it could mean to oppose, to be in an uncomfortable situation and, dealing with something, to challenge. And when we're talking about challenging or opposing, I would say less of a challenge and oppose and more of being uncomfortable with doing something. I feel like that's where we're kind of going with in terms of what we're talking about today. So as you can see, I'm at the park today. I'm about to go on my walk, but I decided I would do the podcast first, just to get, my mind right before the walk. So I decided I'm going to talk to y'all. So let's go ahead and my personal opinion as to some reasons why, as an adult, you cannot be non-confrontational. So there are many situations as an adult where you have to have difficult conversations, and you are put in difficult situations with people in your life, whether that be your boss, whether that be your parents, whether that be your friends. As you get older, your problems and your situations begin to be more complex. You don't have the challenge of, oh, I'm on the playground and Susie stole my apple juice box. No, it's Bill in HR has not answered my, request to speak to him about a situation that happened a month ago. So now we have to, come up with more practical solutions to more complex situations. And that's, as you go into adulthood, I feel like that's what adulthood is about. You just finding solutions to situations that come all of a sudden. Not even all of a sudden, but they might build over time. But it's just like, it's your responsibility to face those problems. People can't do it for you anymore. Unfortunately, we have our parents in our lives to help us and guide us with things, that come about. But ultimately, when it comes to us growing up and facing adulthood, we have to have those conversations to where we are, presenting our case. So I feel like it starts, when you are younger, having difficult conversations with your parents. If you feel comfortable doing that, I feel like you'll be more likely to be more comfortable expressing yourself when you're in a corporate world or when you're with your friends. Because, say that you weren't given the space to express your emotions when you were a child or a teenager or some sort. When you become an adult, sometimes people like to talk in circles and not get to the point because they're scared of the outcome. You know what I'm saying? So they'll sit there and talk around a point or try to, they don't want to get to the meat and potatoes, so to speak. They want to just sit there and kind of beat around the bush. That's that kind of thing. So it's like, if you weren't given the space to properly express yourself at a proper age, then sometimes people can be like, oh, you know what I'm saying, like, this is what I'm trying to say, but I'm not going to say it directly because they're scared of, what will happen, what goes on. So we have that issue. I'm going to say this. I think it is important, as an adult or as parents, to be able to have difficult conversations with your kids. I'm not saying, you could talk about any and everything, which if you don't want to, that's fine. But I feel like opening up the space for them to come to you to talk about things that might not be easy to talk about will help them transition into adulthood and talk about things that aren't easy to talk about in adulthood. So Yeah, so it's preparing them to have those difficult conversations so they don't have to try to figure it out themselves when they get into an adult. Because it is hard going from I can't talk about anything with my parents or an adult to now I am an adult and now I have to have difficult conversations with my peers, my colleagues, my friends, my da da da. And even in relationships, if we have to have a difficult conversation, like, okay, I feel like we don't spend enough time together, I can sit there and be like, be kind of passive aggressive about it, like, this and that and the third, and but I feel like this. No, you should get to the point and, tell them what and it's not easy. I'm saying it like it's easy, but confrontation is not something that is inherently easy. Like coming to someone and being like, okay, I feel this way is not easy. It might make the whatever relationship you have with them, it might put a strain on it, but if it is a real, actual, true situation, friendship, whatever relationship, if it's strong, it should survive and withstand whatever confrontation is going on, because there is a way to do healthy confrontation. So if I have an issue with if I have an issue with my friend, I feel like she doesn't support me emotionally as well as she should, or she's not there for me as well as she should be. There's a difference between saying, girl, you're never there for me, like, you always with your boyfriend, you never coming with me, you never doing this. That's a way to confront someone. That's not the best way. And then you could be like, hey girl, I just been feeling like, lately we haven't been spending as much time together and you haven't really been there for me as I would want you to, and I want to fix that because I feel like we're really good friends and I don't want this to hinder our friendship. Was that hard? No, it wasn't hard. But we can make it hard when we're scared to make a case for ourselves. And I'm speaking to myself. I'm one of those people. It took me a long time to speak up for myself, to be like, look, this is bothering me. This is something that needs to be addressed. Because people will do what you allow them to do. And that's just the true and honest truth. If you feel uncomfortable with Bob and your work at your job making the remarks about you over and over again that may be inappropriate, and you feel a way about it, Bob will continue to do so until you either confront Bob, or if you confront Bob and he doesn't respond correctly, you go to HR and confront them. You have to make a case for yourself in this world, because you are sometimes all you got. You know what I'm saying? You have people in your life who care about you, and they might support you in confronting people. They might say, look, you need to go to HR about Bob because this has been an ongoing issue. And if HR and Bob can't get together, then you have other steps you need to take legally. But to make the case for yourself means to stand up for yourself, means to, have a voice for yourself. And as an adult, having a voice for yourself is so important. With everything going on in the world and people trying to get over on other people, like, this world isn't the nicest, not the kindest. It will chew you up and spit you out. So you have to have those difficult conversations with people. You have to confront them. You have to let them know that this is how you feel and this is what's going on. Because if you don't confront an issue and it's been bothering you and bothering you and bothering you, especially with somebody that you care about, you can unnecessarily explode on them and take your anger out on them, not because they did something wrong, but because you didn't address a problem and you have built up animosity. And that's what happens. Like, people will have underlying issues with you, underlying beef with you. You don't know that because they don't address it. But this whole time they had an issue, they had a problem. They don't say nothing about it. They expect you to just fix it without you telling them, but you don't. So you continue to go ahead and do what you do, and the responsibility is on you. And it's not fair, but it's just life. If you are the person with the problem, it is your responsibility to tell someone that you have a problem, because we're not mind readers. We can't expect you to tell you. I can't expect you to know that I have a problem with the joke you've been making about me for some years, and I'll just laugh it off whenever you make it. If my response isn't equal to how I feel, how are you supposed to know how I feel? Truly. So you're letting a problem fester. You're letting this problem build and grow. You're letting this bother you over and over again. And now it's come to a head and you're exploding on this person, or like your emotions are just bursting because you haven't confronted the issue and it's just bothering you. It's like a sore you have or a scab you have that just like keeps getting picked and you never let it fully heal, and because you haven't properly, bandaged it or cleaned it. To get all of your issues solved as an adult, A lot of times it requires confrontation. It requires you telling a person, look, I am not okay with this. This is what I expect. Even when it comes down to, like, people can view, you're at a restaurant getting what you paid for. You're paying for this. This is a service. This is a good that you paid for. It's not up to par. They brought out the chicken. It's not cooked to my liking. It's cold. I can accept that it's cold and eat it cold and be mad that it's cold and be like, it's cold. Or I can tell the waitress, hey, and again, it's a way to do it. You don't have to be rude and be confrontational. I want that to be clear too. You do not have to be rude and confrontational. Confrontation does not equal rude. You don't have to be like, hey, my food is cold. Like, what is this? Hi, excuse me. My food isn't cooked, properly. It's a bit cold. Do you mind if I get another plate? And there's no reason that the waiter or the waitress should be like, no, because you paid for that. That's something that you paid for. That's something that you spent your money on, and you expect a good or service. So, I know that was a bit of a long-winded podcast. Well, it's only 10 minutes, but the point of that whole thing was confrontation is healthy if done properly, and it is required, especially as an adult, because there'll be several situations when you are an adult where you have to be your own representative, your own spokesperson. So, as adults, as a new adult, as an upcoming adult, as an already established adult, confront that person. Don't have to be rude, be respectful, but let them know how you feel. Make it known your problems matter. That was another podcast. Thank y'all so much for listening, for watching. Yes, so I will be allowing guests here soon. If you would like to be a guest, you can always DM me. You can text me if you have my number. What will happen in the guest process is that you can present a topic to me, or you can be like, I want to just come and talk about a topic that I present. But if you present a topic, I'll just be more of an interviewer because I want to educate myself on whatever you present and just really ask questions because you're presenting up an issue that you feel needs to be talked about. Sorry, my mouth is just having today. So you can come on here and just express what you want to talk about, and we can talk about it. There will be guests soon, like I said, so that's great. I will be on a set posting schedule for the rest of the year. I will establish that, and I'll make it known. But that's about it for today. I hope you guys have a great, safe, healthy rest of your week. Tomorrow is Halloween. I might be releasing a Halloween episode. I don't know. But I just hope y'all have a safe, healthy week. Stay blessed, stay safe. Love y'all. Peace out.